TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Members are going to St. Louis for Sam Muchnick and appearing at the Kiel Auditorium. And what was Sam like to work with?
Sam was, great guy to work for. I mean, he never talked too much, He was the head of everything down there. Pat O'Connor, Bob Geigel, and they were the two that ran most of it, and Harley Race.
If the AWA and the NWA were separate entities back in the early 80s, late 70s, mostly early 80s, you were being sent to St. Louis, I believe, fairly often. What was the backstory there?
Well, here's the problem they had in St. Louis. They drew huge crowds when it was a championship match. If they didn't have the champions on the card, which the NWA at that time couldn't get them, every other month, then their gates went way down. They'd go from a sellout to maybe half a house. And Sam Muchnick approached Vern, him and Geigel, would he like to buy into St. Louis with them, become a partner, and how do we get this so we can keep it consistent? Our Denver was sold out almost every time, St. Paul, Milwaukee, Chicago, Winnipeg. How do you keep it so steady when you don't have your championship match all the time? Well, you learn to build all your other things underneath, and the tag team champions meant as much as that. So they brought Jim and I in there. We had just won the championship, or in the process, from Duncombe and Lanza. And Lanza was pretty big down in St. Louis, and Bobby Heenan. So we put our TV show in there along with the St. Louis one. So got the AWA and our people established.
Right.
So we wrestled and Jim and I were really getting established in St. Louis, and then they brought in Lanza and Duncombe to face us. So what does Geigel and Sam do? They bring us in the same night Briscoe wrestles Harley. But they put Harley and Briscoe on before us. And we went in after them, and I tell you, we had that place rocking. We tore the place in that big ring, and that was tough to do. And that was our last appearance there. For a lot of reasons.
Any other reasons you want to go into, or?
Well, no. They didn't utilize it. They could have put us in with Lanza and Duncombe the following month.
Right.
And probably sold the joint out. You can tell as an athlete when you get in the ring if the people are there, what they're there to see.
Yeah.
And we knew. And then what they paid us afterwards, we said, why are we missing Denver and Milwaukee for St. Louis when, in one night there we make 10 or 15 times more than what they paid us here.
Right. Political and all that kind of paid.
It was very political, and they really, it made you realize that they didn't really want what they wanted.
Yeah.
They wanted their guys established. Same thing, Jim Barnett brought Jim and I to Atlanta. We were supposed to go down there and have a big match with Bob Orton and Dick Slater. They were their champions. So our first week there, the second night we're in Columbus, Georgia. And they put us against Rip Hawk and Dr. Jerry Graham. At that time, they were on their way out. And all they were used for was the guys to get over. And we went in and had about a 25-minute match with them and tore the place apart. And nobody could really follow the match after that. So what did they do? They booked us against Bob Backlund and Jerry Briscoe for the next 2.5 weeks.
Right.
And they turned Slater and Orton babyface. So we never got to meet them.
Yeah.
It's because of the bookers down there. They had their guys they were pushing, and they didn't want anybody to steal the show.
Yeah. Who was booking at the time? Was it Ole?
No.
It
wasn't. If it would have been Ole, we'd have been in there.
Yeah.
It was, I want to say Gary Hart.
Okay.
Was he a manager for Jardine?
Yeah.
Yeah.